Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of our journey, Earl at Sumo Bully Kennels. So with a quick recap, we decided to get into this, did all our planning, got our first dog, Maki from OGK Kennels, who is off of Valentino and Platinum Mommy. We decided to get a male on our yard from Godiva and Goya, which is Kaiju. From there, we liked that breeding so much that we ended up getting another girl, Cookie Monster. However, that didn't quite work out. If you watched the other episode, if not, go back to that episode with Cookie Monster. From there, we still ended up getting another girl from that same litter, which is Snickers Bar. So here we are now. So current state of where we are at this point, we have 2 females and a male, and we wanted one more female as a foundational dog on our yard. So from there, let's take you to this next journey. So this is our girl, Katana, and she is our 4th dog, 3rd female. And let me go over the story of how my wife found her. So at this point, we're doing a lot of research on bloodlines, what look we like, who has the dogs that we like, studs and dams, and basically the productions. My wife happened to stumble across Rocha with Samba Kennels, and this is her page right here. Very experienced breeder, been in the dog industry for probably close to 20 years. Started with the Dogos. I interviewed her in our breeder series, but not knowing anything about her, not knowing her, this is what caught our eye right here. And here, let's go over a few clips.
In my life, seen a dog.
Uh-oh, what happened? Something happened. Let's go back. For some reason, it jumped out of there.
Never in my life seen a dog with this much muscle expression compared to the body. Yes, he's really opened up in the front and he's a little wide here, but this kind of mass, you don't see this kind of muscle on a Rottweiler. I mean, anything. I have never seen a dog with an like that. And he's a good boy.
So with that said, I would 100% have to agree with that. I got to see and meet Mr. Klaus in person and spend time with him. That doctor, veterinarian, what he said, I 100% agree with. So here.
Meet the Extreme XL American Bullies superstar, Klaus Canil Rocha from Samba Kennels. Imported from Brazil, this 2-year-old Titan boasts a striking 22-inch height, 132 pounds weight, and a 27.5-inch head. Klaus's standout features include his mighty shoulder and rear muscles, owing to his gaudy line Dax pedigree in the 5th and 7th generations. Yet despite his daunting build, Klaus has a loving demeanor and an irresistible love for balls, hanging tires, and traction work. ABKC President Dave Wilson and international judges admire him as a breed epitome. He's more than a bully, he's a celebrity. Klaus has revolutionized the XL world, setting the import trend of many bullies from Brazil. His influence extends globally, thanks to his record-breaking stud locks in 2023 and his premium semen availability in Europe, the UK, and soon Asia and Australia.
Okay, so after watching that, seeing his movement on video, really wanted to see this boy. And we actually thought he was in Brazil. Turns out that he is here in the U.S. in Texas with our friend, an advisor, Rocha. And he is initially what we looked at when we were looking for what we want to establish and create, and the blood we want to pull from, the phenotype, the genotype, the look of the dog. This is Rocha, myself and my wife, and this is the famous Mr. Klaus. Beautiful, beautiful dog. So, anyhow, back to it. We first reached out to Rocha. Let's go back to some kind of page here. And we were a little nervous because this would be our first time reaching out to somebody who's not in our state. Don't know a lot of people in the industry at this point, and so You know, you see an amazing dog and you see a more established breeder, and as a new person in the industry, you know, you're a little intimidated. So to our surprise and to our pleasure, Araya was very sweet, very knowledgeable, just a good soul of a person that understood our vision. We spent hours on the phone with her, understanding what we're trying to do. And we decided to get this girl Katana. We named her Katana. So let's take a look at her website. Let's see, here we go. Here it is. There's Mr. Klaus. And as impressive as he is, Lily is just as impressive and has the blood behind her. So for those of you who know, you know. For those of you who don't know, let me explain. Lily is Whopper's littermate off of King Zion and Bossy's Tetra. King Zion is a tremendous producer. Whopper, another tremendous producer. Bossy's Tetra, and we'll go into Pitpedia in a minute. So if you look at this, so Lily's a tri, Klaus is a fawn. But look at the dogs on the pedigree on the mom's side. It was enough for me that Klaus was impressive, but what really sold me on this litter is who Araya took him to, which is King and Queen's Lily, who I believe owns King Zion as well. Deep pedigrees on these dogs, right? And so we look at this breeding. We ended up getting the second pick fawn female right here. You see that right there, Earlwith, Illinois. That was me. I saw these puppies at around 4 weeks in terms of the listing of what she had up. And initially I was interested, and I wanted a dog that resembled Klaus's phenotype, color-wise, because then I'm pulling from the dad's side, which is exactly what attracted us to get involved with this litter and acquire another foundational female for our program. So if you look at right here, this is our baby Katana, super cute, second pick fawn female. And we locked in with Araya right away at 4 weeks because we believed in this breeding. Going a little bit into Pitpedia here for Mr. Klaus. He's an import from Brazil. There he is. And then you're gonna see, you know, basically the dogs in his bloodline. You got Big Block on there. Belfort looks like a standard, maybe even a pocket, right? And so look at these array of dogs, and you know, in his pedigree. And then you come up, and you go to Komodo Monster M1, and they were able to create Klaus from all the mixtures of these dogs, and that's some pretty innovative breeding, right? That's some experience to understand what you're mixing, and sometimes you got to mix it over 2-3 times to get exactly what you want. I've seen Klaus's siblings. Hannah is a littermate of his. She's as big as he is, to be honest with you, if not a little bit, maybe even a little bit bigger. He's got another sister in Brazil that looks amazing. And so they really have established consistency at this level of mixing with Klaus and his siblings. So anyhow, now let's look at the other side of things, which solidified our decision, right? Here she is, K&Q's Lily, who is now owned by Samba Kennels, off of Bossy's King Zion and Bossy's Tetra. What does that mean? Zion is off of Adios and Butterscotch, right? You got Showstop and Ace on this side of the line, Monster Mud on this side. So if you guys are in this industry, you know this bloodline right here. It's very, very solid on Zion's side. On the mom's side, you got Lucius the Lion, who's another legendary dog, right? Along with Bossy's Jasmine, who's another killer producer, who's off of Adios as well, and Bossy's Silverback. So you're going to see Adios twice on both sides of this. which gives you a very nice line bred dog, right? And what is the importance of line breeding to me? Line breeding to me, the importance of line breeding is locking in those traits and really solidifying that look, the blood. So Lily is already a solidly line bred dog, which is perfect to take to an outcross like Klaus, because then you have the hybrid vigor. All right, so when you go to outcross, you're bringing new vigor. You're basically, in a nutshell, as a breeder, you want to line breed to lock in your traits, and then you want to outcross to bring in new vigor, new blood, right? To establish a new look, something that hasn't, been created yet. So understanding the difference between line breeding, and an outcross or an inbreed, all those things are very important to us as breeders, especially if we want to establish a look, if we want to trademark what kind of dogs we produce, and consistency is key, right? Because if you don't have a signature looking consistency, then basically you're crap shooting, right? So anyhow, back to this banner here. Looking at this, I mean, it's simple math for me. You get a girl from this litter, Klaus and Lily, and you take her back to Zion or Whopper. To Whopper would be an uncle, to Zion would be the grandfather. And everything on Zion's side, Zion has produced a lot of amazing dogs. I'm a big fan of this dog, just like I'm a big fan of Whopper. Bossy Kennels, they're an amazing kennels. Everybody in this industry knows that they produce consistently. And now you're bringing in this hybrid vigor from Klaus. So off this line bred girl, you're going to take her to a nice hybrid outcross like Klaus, who looks like an extreme XL, right? He makes dogs look leggy. I mean, seeing this boy in person, amazing. He moves the way he moves. None of that stuff is edited, let me tell you. 132 pounds of pure muscle. This dog can haul some ass, move, nice drive, very good temperament. Got a chance to take pictures with him and play with him, throw the ball. Just a beautiful, amazing boy. And so that's what locked us in with Katana. We'll come back here to Katana. We got her at roughly 8 weeks. This is her, this picture's maybe about 4 weeks old, right? So she's roughly about 4 months now. Very nice. I love her face. What a beautiful face. And that whole litter, I would say she's the only one with a face like this. So let's go back to this banner here. Okay. So to me, she looks like Klaus. She looks like a Brazilian dog, right? If we go back to Arya's page, let's see if she's got some of the girls on the page here. She should. Okay, here we go. There you go. You see Klaus there. So here you go. Here's one of the puppies off of this litter. There's another one, the tri-black. Look at that spread on that tri-black. Here's some of the boys off the litter right here. Because she had 4 boys, 6 girls. And just scroll down. Boom, this tri-chocolate girl right here. Black tri. There's our girl, Katana. I mean, to me, he produced his ass off. And he really throws his look when he throws a litter. I mean, he's going to throw some fawns, tri-carriers, dilute carriers, but what an amazing litter. And what's crazy is that we picked early. So here's some of the girls off the litter, some of the dogs off the litter. We picked very early. And what's crazy is we still had the option to change our minds, because I wanted to see Klaus and see the puppies in person, right? What we did was a deposit, and at 8 weeks, we flew down to Dallas, and we wanted to see, the whole litter, to see how consistent it was. We wanted to see Klaus, we wanted to see Lily. Araya was gracious enough to let us do that and see both parents. That's very important to me, to understand what their strengths are. and their weaknesses, you know. And so what's crazy is all the puppies were so close that I don't even know how you distinguish between a first and a second pick in this litter. That's how close all the puppies were. I mean, there was one pup I think that was a little bit smaller, but I was a big fan of her structure. Let me see if I could find her real quick. So even though she was the smallest one, we didn't end up getting her, but look at her right here, this tri-black. So what we would say is a runt, right? You would say a runt. I didn't see her as a runt. She had a beautiful face, beautiful structure. Here she is right here. The one in the middle, the one I got highlighted right here. I got the cursor over, black tri. So you're talking about this was the runt of the litter. Look at this structure. Look at her face. What an amazing looking dog, right? And that's what I talk about with the power of consistency of this litter, because you got Klaus, who's bringing in that hyper vigor, and then her mom, just a beautiful line bred girl. I don't see how you could have missed with this litter to begin with. So anyhow, she had a litter of 10. We'll go back here. And here they were, the little babies. And again, if you look at them right here, even as young as they are here, seeing them in person, it was really hard to make a determination. So we ended up going with a second pick fawn female with the brown nose right here. Primarily because I figured, you know, when we got her embarked that she would be a try and dilute carrier, which she is. We've had her embarked. She is clear right here. I'll go back to my dogs here. There she is. She has a COY of, I'm sorry, let me go back. Her COY is 11%, which is a little bit low, but that's okay because she's an outcross, right? So if you look at some of my other dogs here, 19%, 17%, 13%, 9%, 18% for Snickers, right? COI stands for the coefficient of inbreeding. So I wasn't expecting her to have a high COI because she's an outcross. Doesn't mean when I take her to somebody and line breed her, I'm going to bump that up to about 19 to 23. So if you look at her traits, AYAT right here on the A locus. No Merle alleles. She is KYKY, right? And pretty much a clean dog, right? Which I was expecting anyway. So in terms of what I'm looking for in the embark is that she has, she's health tested, genetically clear from any major issues, and that I understand what she's carrying under the hood, right? That way when I pair her, if I'm looking for a type and maybe I want to produce some tries or something else, I need to understand where she's at so that I can mix my dogs properly. So with that said, yeah, my wife actually found her. We made a deposit, flew down there, got Katana, and we took a road trip back just because I'd never driven across the U.S. and I wanted to. My wife likes driving. I'm not as good as my wife driving, but that's a whole nother point. Gosh, what can I say up to this point of having her? A healthy dog, beautiful dog, as you could see. Let's get back to her. Very mild-mannered. I like this litter so much that at the end of the day, an opportunity came up, right? Now, mind you, at this point, we got 3 girls and 1 boy. And at this point, we're good, right? That's a good starting point with the blood that we have on the yard. I'm happy with the blood we have. However, an opportunity came from Maria and asked us if we would consider a co-own. So this is what brings us to our 5th dog, which we were not planning on. However, the opportunity made sense for us. Ended up doing a co-own, but I wanted another girl. So with that said, we ended up getting a 5th dog from Maria, getting 2 dogs from this litter, just like the last litter that I was a big fan of. Again, guys, when we were buying, we were all in research mode, looking at all the dogs and all the types we want. And so, you know, when you buy more than one dog off a litter, that means you're really committed to the litter and you understand what's happening. And you can, you know, then you know what your plan is and how to work with the dogs that you acquired. I'm going to save that next dog for the next story. However, I just wanted to cap this one by saying we came there from one and ended up with two, just like the last one. Because there's so many dogs out there and there's so many good productions out there, right? For me, it's what's your vision, right? I know what my vision is, and I know the bloods I like, and I know the look I'm going for. And not every breeder is going to provide that for you. And so for us, understanding what we want to create and the acquisitions we made are all centered around the Sumo Bully Kennels vision of producing a hyper type quality XL dog. And once we start mixing and playing and have our productions, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Everything up to this point is very strategic with our acquisitions. And so with that said, I'm going to wrap this session up. This was our fourth dog purchase from Samba Kennels off of the famous Mr. Klaus and K&Q's Lily. What an amazing breeding. We are so excited for these girls to grow up and really put our touch on it. All right. So with that one said, guys, you already know which episode we're going to do next. It's going to be her sister. And I'll tell a little bit of the story of how they came about. Other than that, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We're going to continue to bring you quality content. And I'll catch you on the next one.